And we're going to check out the sailing update and see what's popping off with that. So sailing got a boat combat fix. Okay, let's see what happened here. Boat combat fixes March 18th. Known issues. Players have reported that great white shark looting appears to be broken. Okay. Use the telegraph spell for now. That's what they said. Change log for March 18th. So there were some fixes. Sailing combat improvement. We're making a change of improvements to boat combat today to address issues that were highlighted by you during our sailing opinion poll. Whilst these changes will create a noticeable improvement, it's important to emphasize that this is a massive content update. Rather, these are a series of small quality of life boosts. That this is not a massive content update. Rather, these are a small quality of life boost that will make the content feel more smooth and fix some of the key problems that you've told us about. Our main goal with this update is to create a stronger foundation to build on in future content. We're almost ready to share plans on how we will further iterate on boat combat by implementing NPC boats. Stay tuned. So you might feel small differences right now, but these improvements will ensure that future updates to boat combat will feel even better. So let's see what's changing. Cannons. Ship cannons will be rebalanced. They now fire more slowly, but each shot will feel more impactful. Okay, so higher accuracy and strength per barrel. They changed the scaling. Additionally, during these tests, we found that the crew cannon damage was incorrectly scaling with the captain's sailing level. That's now been fixed, and the cannon only scales with the crewmate's privateering level. Okay. We've also added functionality to build 2 cannons on the same side of your sloop. Name first and second cannon. Okay, so you can actually have both of your cannons on the same side of your boat now. That was something that needed to be fixed because you're usually aiming your boat one direction, and it sucks when you can only shoot it with one cannon. What's the point of having 2 cannons if you can only shoot it with one, you know? That's much better. The wiggle strat was crazy. Many of you told us that you're using way too many cannonballs, so we've got a few changes lined up to improve that. Oh. Are they putting an Ava's backpack on the ships now? The ballistic attractor recovers 60%. Guys, they put Ava's backpack on the ships now. Recovers 60% of the cannonballs you fire, meaning boat combat will be much less expensive to engage in. There it is. There it is, guys. We got Ava's backpack now on the boats. Build this facility by speaking to Ava after completing the animal magnetism quest. Literally, you get it from Ava. They just let you put the Ava's backpack on your boat. That's great. The ballistic attractor can be added to a sloop and a skiff, but not a raft. To build it, you require 10 mahogany planks, 5,000 water runes, 1,000 law runes, 5 lead bars, and 5 steel bars. Okay. Wait until Doc Johnson hears about this. I don't think he can do animal magnetism. Doc Johnson's going to have a rough time with this. For those of you who are worried about this item being a facility and not just a flat boat upgrade, don't worry. You won't need to remove any facilities on the sloop since we've already added 2 extra facility slots where you can place a cannon or ballistic attractor facility. As we mentioned above, cannons now also hit harder. Okay. Yo, Robin Booth, thank you very much for the prime. Nally piece today. Let's go, Nally piece hard. Dude, what if we just get the full Nox Halley on the first task? Has that ever happened in RuneScape history? We've improved the rates that you can get cannonballs from cannonball thieving, shipwreck salvaging, and NPC loot tables. Nice. More cannonballs from salvaging. See, guys, everybody was making fun of me for not doing sailing on launch. And I'm like, just wait. They always make it better. Actually, the only thing that kind of got boned was the salvaging XP rates. So that was actually an advantage for people who played. However, sailing always gets better. It's always going to get better if you just wait. The longer you wait, the better it gets. That's the lesson with RuneScape. All right, so they've upped the rate that certain cannonballs drop from salvaging and from other monsters at sea. Monsters at sea, there was a damage cap on combat from player characters on boats, which was originally designed to incentivize players to use their cannons instead of gear. However, by doing so, we've invalidated hard-earned gear progression, and it resulted in sluggishly long fights. We've now removed that damage cap so that player combat from boats against monsters at sea now works exactly like it does on land. Your gear will feel much more impactful. We hope this change will help sailing combat feel more naturally integrated with the wider game. Wait, so you can wear like your T-bow and shoot sharks now? And it'll actually do big damn? As part of the update, the multi-dwarf cannon will no longer fire at creatures at sea instead of dealing lower damage to them. This prevents unintended effects with bounty tasks, which we've been balanced around boat-based combat. Okay. The dwarf multi-cannon used on land to target sea creatures would be detrimental to that balance. Okay. So the dwarf multi-cannon, you can't use your two cannons and set up a cannon on your boat and have that also shoot them. That's crazy. People were trying that. That no longer works. Additionally, we've improved how you can get loot from sea creatures. The delay animation has been removed so you can get loot much faster. Nice. You can also telekinetic grab loot corpses instantly without needing to pull the loot in using a net. Tele grabs are OP now in sailing, guys. If you're out there killing stuff with your cannons or shooting it with your T-bow. We expect that the changes to boat combat will significantly increase the amount of kills per hour, which have an impact on the game's overall economy. Rather than tweaking drop weights, we've balanced this around the hit points of the sea NPC monsters so they take the similar time to kill, which will keep kills per hour roughly the same. We expect that mid to low level boats will see marginal improvements in their kills per hour compared to where they are currently, and high level boat setups should be the same. Okay. Additionally, a previous bug made unique drops more common than intended. While we're not changing that, we're tidying up some of the code. This may have a very small impact on loot tables, but it shouldn't be very noticeable. Do let us know if you encounter anything unusual. The Veiled Kraken and new bounty task. Uh-oh. A new sea monster has been spotted lurking in the tangled kelp. It's a Veiled Kraken. This creature has a very high magic defense and is weak to heavy range. It also hits with melee, so don't get too close. Its unique drops include the Dragon Cannon Barrel and Inky Paint. We think it's good to add more active way of getting Dragon Cannon Barrel, especially the current method of only obtaining it is through salvaging, which is very AFK. Okay, so they've added new ways to get a Dragon Barrel. They've added a new monster that's probably hard to kill, and it's probably faster than salvaging because it's less AFK, which is very on point with RuneScape, on brand. At level 80 sailing, you can also grab a bounty task for Veiled Kraken. Okay, so 80 sailing, you can farm your Dragon Cannon a bit faster now than salvaging. As a result of this fix, you may find that some tasks are rarer and more common than previously due to the pool of tasks being fixed. Okay. Fire at will. Managing your ship's crew is also getting easier. You can now order your crew to fire at will, allowing them to automatically search for targets and fire cannons whenever enemies are in range. This makes for ship combat to be more hands-off, letting you focus on sailing and positioning and other tasks while your crew handles the work. So this is cool because what you can do now is you can put both cannons on the same side. You maneuver your boat, turn it towards the enemy, and then you undo the helm or release the helm, and then you start shooting your bow or maging. And then as soon as that one dies, you get back on the helm, you steer the boat towards another target, you get off the helm, and then you start firing and shooting your bow again. So it's a bit more interactive now with combat because you have to drive and shoot at the same time. Well, you want to be driving as minimal as possible while shooting to like have both of your crewmates firing cannons, and then you're also participating in the fight with your bow. And I think that should be the highest DPS, which makes the most sense. Drive-by cannons, yeah. So you want to be driving by and then just doing big damn. We've added a new toggle into the sailing side panel that'll allow you to toggle between fire at will, do not follow captain's target, follow captain's target. There's also a right-click option on the toggle if you prefer quickly swap between these methods. Okay, this looks pretty clean. This is a fire at will, which means the cannon will just fire endlessly. When this feature is enabled, your crew will search for any enemies in range and remain on them until their target dies. Nice. All right, this is a really good update. They kind of downplayed this update a bit. I think this is really good. There's no target priority system as long as the creature is in range. And as sea monster, the crew will attack. However, you can manually reset targeting using the cancel target button if desired. The fire at will mode lasts for 10 minutes until the crew will decide to go on a break. But if you would like them to go back to work, simply turn it back on. Miscellaneous quality of life changes. Mike, thank you for the prime. Around the launch of sailing, we mentioned the Keg of Whirlpool Surprise gives an invisible +2 sailing bonus. However, after brief investigation, the buff was not applying correctly. This has now been fixed. Okay, great. I was not getting this invisible. Wait, oh, if it's an invisible +2 sailing bonus, that means it doesn't work for salvaging, right? It's just the +2 would just give you more, I don't know, accuracy or something. Because I still had to drink the whirlpool to salvage one level higher than I needed to. Players can now use a fish-filled crate on a bank booth to empty the fish into their bank. Let's see. We've also reduced interruptions while your ship is under attack. Previously, whenever your boat was hit by an enemy, it would interrupt the captain, closing interfaces like the cargo hold and disrupting any actions they were performing, such as looting. This is particularly frustrating when you are engaging directly in combat. Now, enemy attacks will not interrupt most captain attacks, so you can continue to use interfaces or other menus without them forcibly closing. Nice. These are some nice changes, guys. Jagex kind of cooked with this. Be curious to see how it works. Putting both cannons on the same side, using your crew to fire them, and then you using like, you know, a BOFA or something to shoot off the boat to participate in the fight at the same time for max DPS. Okay. What is this? Those things look pretty cool. I'm not a big collector of those kind of things, but those things look pretty cool. These little RuneScape toys. Little bobblehead looking ass things. All right, boys. W's in the chat for sailing changes. I think that that's good. A good step in the right direction. I'm actually kind of curious to try sailing. Maybe we test that out today and see what that looks like. Or when is that getting implemented? Did they say? It's in today. Okay, it is in today. So it can be tested today if we wanted to. Oh, also there's this thing called a Fight Pit Showdown. Friday, March 27th. Last player standing in each round will win 3 OSRS bonds. Fight Pit's last man standing. Okay, that's something to participate in right there. A little PvP event. Some organized chaos. I don't know if we'll participate in that, but maybe we'll watch it. Could be kind of fun to throw down in the Fight Pits. There's some kind of last man standing event in the Fight Pits that really never gets used. I remember coming across it one time and people were trying to explain to me what it was. I think I went into like the wrong room or something. And people were saying that that was like the original last man standing there or something like that. So maybe they're trying to make the fight cave LMS great again.